Hey y'all, Pat Waters. Welcome to Drive Across Texas. We're in Matador, Texas, in West Texas today at Bob's Oil Well. Bob Robertson was a Greenville, Texas native, and after World War I, he moved to Matador in the 20s. In 1932, he was a filling station attendant and decided to open his own gas station. So what he did to make it unique is he put a wood oil derrick on top of his gas station, and in 1939, he replaced that with metal and lights all the way around it. So what he did to attract business is he paid on-the-road truck drivers to strategically put signs all across the United States and tell them exactly how many miles they were from Bob's oil well service. He used to keep rattlesnakes in cages in here and had like a live zoo, so it attracted people. Business really grew to the point that Bob was able to include a cafe and a garage. In 1947, Bob passed away, and 2 weeks after he passed away, a high wind came and blew the oil well over. 2 years later, his widow was going to open the business again, so replaced the oil well, put more lights on it, but sadly the business never came back, so it finally closed in 1950. Folks, I'm telling you, if you ever get out here to Matador, Texas, you need to stop and check out Bob's Oil Well. It is a treasure of a Texas history mark. Y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan. Adios.
Drive across Texas.
Hey y'all, we're in Matador, Texas with Drive Across Texas. I'm telling you, man, this is the coolest part of my job. We're actually inside of the historical Bob's Oil Well in Matador, Texas. I have a homegrown Matadorian, Mr. Ron Bailey here. And Ron, man, I appreciate you taking time. I know you're busy, you're retired, and you got a lot of things in the fire, you know, but would you be so kind to tell the people, you were here when you were a kid. This was a bustling business here. Would you tell them your experiences about Bob's Oil Well?
First time I remember it, coming in from town, they had been at like a rock cafe in the back.
Yeah.
And I remember Bob vaguely. I was about 6 years old at the time. But he was a legend already then when I was a kid. Everybody knew him, and he was a mover in town. He was the commander of the American Legion, all that stuff, everything downtown, and he's a mover. And he got the idea about this Bob's Oil Well. See, that highway there wasn't there then, but he knew it was coming here. So ahead of time, he gets this corner. But I don't know exactly when he first started work. He came here as a grocery store guy, but he saved the money and got this going. And it was an old-time truck stop for trucks, and we're open 24 hours a day. And people would stop and eat here at the little Bob's Cookhouse, they call this thing here. He had a grocery store, a garage, all this stuff. It's always open. And as a kid, you know, you get a hamburger, 35 cents, and a Coke for a nickel. And they were good. In the bottle, they were really good. But old Bob, he committed suicide. He was, I think it was divorce or something anyway.
Now you told me a story off air a while ago that you come out here one night back in your younger days and you was drinking a little bit and carousing, you had a date here. Tell the people about that story. That's pretty interesting.
Well, it was homecoming, and the date was a year older than me. I thought I'd been good, boy. And she had a high school, I was a senior. and we was messing around, you know, up here. It's almost 3 o'clock when I got here. It's open all the time. Well, I stepped in the cafe to eat a hamburger or something. Well, her dad was in there.
Oh, Lord.
And I just left shrunk. But he had had some money on the ball game, and he had won it. And he was happy to lark. So I got out of that deal. I got a mason and married Sue Potts. She's a historian, and she's got this going. And she worked. This is a several year deal. She's got the marker, got it painted. It needs to be dedicated in 05. It's outside. You can see it now. It needs painting again. Outside, you know. But after 14 years, it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so, but she's a rising force I'm early.
Now, since 2006, I understand. I mean, you moved back. You spent most of your, after you were born here, and then you moved to Eastland and went to work, and then when you retired, you came back to your hometown.
Right.
Since about 2006, you've been taking care of this property.
Yeah, I've been mowing and painting and stuff like that. And
It's because it means a lot to you because it's your hometown. You know, it's very sentimental, and you got to see it when you were
my
growing up.
mother and grandmother and granddad works here a while, and so that means something.
That's great. Now we got time for one more story. You was telling me off air. You said you rolled in here one night about 12:30, and there's a couple of brothers sitting at the cafe, sitting up and leaning up against the bar, and a cowboy come in. And so tell it what happened on that deal.
Well, there'd been a rodeo downtown, Orange Springs, and dance and all that, and everybody oiled up pretty good, you know. And the brothers were sitting in there, and the what's over there back, and the cowboys, the four of them, and one of the boys said, "In walked Hoot Gibson." And boy, who said that? What slot was on? They walked out the door here. I didn't see this, but I heard of it by this everybody. And those brothers, well, poor cowboys.
You didn't want to mess with them brothers, did you?
No, I know well.
Yeah.
One of them's still alive.
Wow, that's great. Ron, I tell you what, thank you so much for taking time out and really getting it. I mean, this has been a treat, really has.
you.
It's the
Thank
stuff
you.
that we love to do on Drive Across Texas. Real history about these small Texas towns. And, hopefully if we can continue to tell these stories and we can get the youth involved in them and keep some of these places alive.
Right, that's right.
But anyway, folks, I'm telling you what, Mr. Ron Bailey, Pat Waters, and that's coming from a couple of Texans. Adios.
Drive across Texas.
Howdy neighbors, welcome to Drive Across Texas. I am Pat Waters. We're in West Texas today in Matador, Texas, the home of Bob's Oil Well. Great businessman, Bob Robertson, man. Creative advertising, creative marketing brought people from all over the country and enabled him to grow his business into a filling station, a cafe, a garage. We're at his final resting spot here on the outside of town at East Mound Cemetery. You know, what we do at Drive Across Texas, we're always scraping up those tall Texas tales. And man, we got a good one here. You know, I've been talking to townspeople here, and rumor has it that he either shot himself or his wife shot him. They were on the outs, but you know what? I know y'all like to chase those tall Texas tales, so y'all come on out to Matador and make your own conclusions. All I can tell you, we're at his final resting spot. He has a tombstone and she don't. Go figure. Y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan.